Hey, today we're going to check out the Vallejo Naval Historic Museum here in Vallejo, California. And they should have a lot of great stuff. They got World War II history, Mare Island history, Vallejo history. So I want you to come along with me. And while you're at it, I want you to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And keep coming with me on my journeys. Alright, let's go check out the museum, alright? So here's the entrance, and they got this, as you can see, the front of like an old style clipper ship. It's pretty cool. Got the dark blue carpet, looks like the ocean, and the mural on the wall. I love the entrance to this place. And here there's an old periscope, and it goes up to the ceiling. Looks out the roof. It looks out. I don't know much about periscopes. I just see them in the movies. But this one is connected to the roof of the museum, which is kind of neat. But they don't want you to touch it right now because of COVID. There's a little information about the periscope. And a top view of the entrance. It's pretty impressive. The entrance. And this is it's a submarine depth gauge from World War II. That's pretty cool. And there's a bell. I'm not sure the significance of it. And they got all these models of the different types of submarines that they made for World War II. A lot of them were made in Mare Island, which is, you know, right across the way from this museum. Actually, most of these are probably made in Mare Island, to be honest. You can see the old docks that they tethered to still at Mare Island. Yeah, I'm not going to read everything and give you all the details, otherwise this video would be hours long. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview and things that I see that I think are interesting. Those are like the things you put on your shoulders there. And that sword. Oh, look at that hat. That's got to be old. And this is like a steam-powered paddle boat style sailing ship. The models in here are really detailed. And a lot of it relates to Mare Island, of course. There's a floating dry dock there, a picture of Mare Island floating dry dock. And this is the dry dock being built. This is from 1882, this photograph. Look at this thing. It's like a hotel on the water. Modern cruise ship it's not, but a beginning of a cruise ship maybe. It looks like it's got 4 stories. It's probably one below the other windows. This is from the ship Independence, SS Independence, in the 1800s. And this is a USS Hartford. cool painting. Battleship painting. Another one here. Olympia. This is the Battle of Manila Bay, USS Boston, and this is where it took a cannonball, I guess. That's pretty wild, piece of the ship. Shot hole. USS Fulton. That ashtray's nice. The USS Fulton model. This is from 1898, this paper. Dewey's great guns roar in the harbor of Manila. This is showing the SS San Francisco at Mare Island, and the circled areas are repairs that are made in Mare Island. Another picture. Battered but defiant. SS San Francisco. 1942 that picture is taken. This painting is really nice. SS San Francisco. And here's a detailed drawing of the SS San Francisco. CA-38. And these are profiles of valor. Medal of Honor there. There's a Purple Heart. Those are the real deals. You know, my grandfather served in World War II. He was a P-51 mechanic on the Mustang fighter planes. Check this out. This is all carved. San Francisco. I like that. Some pictures of Mare Island here. 1934 this was taken. Launch of SS San Francisco. For those of you that don't know, I did make a full video of Mare Island and showed these areas, where they are, how they look now. March 9th, 1933. Here's another model of the SS San Francisco. Radio-controlled destroyer model. Expert model builder built this in the mid-50s. He spent 3 years building this model. Imagine the time and effort and energy. This wasn't no kit model. This is all hand built. And it was radio controlled, so it had a little motor in it. Pretty impressive, the detail of this model. Got the radar. Look at the helicopter. That's kind of funny. And it's got missiles or torpedoes or something on the back. It's very impressive. Very impressive. Howard. SS Howard. For those of you who don't know, this museum is, I mean, I was the only person here. This whole place is empty. It's not a very popular museum, but boy, they got some great artifacts in here. So I'd recommend coming and checking it out if you're a World War II buff or into history. It was $10 to get in. And this is a depth charge. That's what you did not want to hear coming down. Next to you is that thing. That's crazy. You first heard the click of a depth charge, armed itself before the terrible explosion. The hull groaned, the motor relays tripped, the lights went out, the deck plates jumped, bulks fell, lagging came loose, and you always wondered if this one had your name on it. The monstrous terror of the deep never left you. A World War II submarine veteran wrote that. And right next to it is this cannon. That thing looks heavy. It says it's a howitzer cannon. 1850s. And another model, another detail model of a submarine, and another ship. Man, the models they have in here are pretty incredible. That's a big model there of the submarine. It's like 4 feet long. USS Bowfin, December 1941. Look at the detail of this. That's a big submarine. The detail again of this model is incredible. Looks very real. This is a collection of the Dewey collection. Now this is from the Manila Bay battle. And I'm not up to on my very old history, so any of you people watching this video that know about this battle, please educate us in the comments of the Battle of Manila Bay. But this is a collection that someone donated to the museum. It's a pretty amazing collection, considering how old this is, all in the 1800s. Game cards, typical. And this is silver, as you can see. And I imagine it was for officers. Very nice. Another cannon. This one says it's a Russian cannon. Doesn't look like Russian stamped into it though, which is kind of weird. More submarine models and some really cool patches. And lighters. The patches are really neat. USS Hawkbill. So you think about all these submarines, these all went out under the Golden Gate Bridge. They're built in Mare Island. A lot of submarine activity during the war at that time. There's another cannon. I'm not sure the significance of it, but it looks like it was a little small one. Look at these giant mortars. As you can see, this museum's got a little bit of everything. The USS Nautilus, the first nuclear-powered submarine from January 1954. So this is the very first nuclear-powered submarine from 1954. Wasn't the Nautilus Jules Verne's ship called, or submarine? From that movie, wasn't it the Nautilus? I think it was. Interesting fact, my wife's grandfather worked on these submarines in Mare Island. Woodrow Wilson, Mare Island. Guess he was there to launch it. Launching crew, Woodrow Wilson. Stonewall Jackson. And they got the christening photos. This is 3 models of 7 that were all built on Mare Island. submarines. This is a diving helmet. It's pretty cool. I've never seen one up close. You always see them in the old movies, but not in real life. That thing looks heavy. It looks like it weighs like 50 pounds. But in the water, I guess it wouldn't be that heavy. Bizarre looking. Speaking of Jules Verne, that's what it looks like from the movie. I don't know what the red dot means. Miss Jane Davenport, the ship's sponsor, christened the ship. There's a picture of her christening the ship. Miss Jane Davenport. Getting soaked with champagne, too. And they have a Corbel bottle. I wonder if that's period correct. I'm not sure. Here's a little 360 view of the second floor of the museum. The room I'm in. There's a Mare Island Naval Shipyard kind of framed deal here. And here's a hand-painted mural of Mare Island. Kind of interesting. And this is more the history of Vallejo, but that's Vallejo's wife, Francesca Benicia Carrillo Vallejo. D. Vallejo. That is a long name. Typical dress. Maybe this was her dress. And this is Vallejo's daughter. And they have these really cool plaques in the hallway. Tons of these. All for each ship or submarine. SS Sea Cat. I like some of the drawings or designs of them. Look at that one. There's a original commissioning pennant. Another plaque. As you can see, this museum is just full of history. You really got to spend a lot of time in here if you want. That's cool. SS Hammerhead. SS Los Angeles. I like the shark with the boxing gloves on. That shark had headphones on. Look at this. Squiddly diddly. SS Drum. Operation Freedom. Some painting in here of the subs going under the Golden Gate Bridge. And more of the entrance, just looking down. Walking by it again, it's really nice. And the detailed drawings on the wall too. That's one of the best museum entrances I've seen. This is actually the city of Vallejo getting paved. Look at those old steamrollers, manual. And General Vallejo's cuffs. This part of the museum is kind of the history of Vallejo. And this is a puppet show. These puppets, the guy, they're all handmade, and he would do a puppet show of the history of the Bear flag, or the Californian flag. So General Vallejo's house is actually still in existence. It's in Sonoma, town of Sonoma, which is a little north, well, I'd say northwest of here, about half-hour drive, not far at all. I love the characters of these puppets, so look at their faces and expressions. The Bear Flag Show. I bet it was an entertaining puppet show. When I was a kid, I loved puppet shows. And that's who these guys represent, General Vallejo. Some more Vallejo history. Some more of those puppets. These are hand puppets, as you can see. This is a bakery, and a woman, very famous bakery in Vallejo. There's some ghouls hanging out in front of a store in Vallejo. And this is a very early record player. They played it on these cylinders. The cylinder would turn and the needle would play the music. It's called a talking machine. And this is a history of the music in Vallejo that came out of Vallejo. Sly and the Family Stone was one of the big ones. And several rappers. Mac Dre came out of Vallejo. And Confunction Junction, the funk band. So Vallejo's got a good, rich history in the music industry. And this stained glass was at the top of a church, and the church caught on fire. And this is the only thing that remains of the burnt church. They saved it, preserved it. There's a picture of it. Sad. It's beautiful stained glass. And this is the top of the church. Also, they preserve that. Vallejo Fire Department patches. Badge. older pictures. Of course, there's a Dalmatian there. Look at that fire engine. And that old hat. Wow. Benjamin Franklin. This is an old piano from 1890. And, you know, wealthy people could afford these to have them in their house. And this is a scene of travel, luggage. And this is a sea captain's parlor. There's an old cool photo. Well, thanks for coming to the museum today with me. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next journey.